Welcome everyone to today's Take 5 SWA Insights. I'm Tendai joined by Jeff Goff, and today we're going to highlight a few charitable giving strategies. Jeff, what are a couple helpful considerations and strategies for those who are joining us today that they should be considering and thinking about?
Sure. Thanks, Tendai. Well, to take a step back, big takeaway message we want to pass along in this video is if you are going to make a big donation to a charity, we want to make sure that instead of writing that check, just pause, take a breath, contact your team here at Sailing Wealth Advisors. Let us help you review other options that may be more tax efficient. So two of the most common strategies that we see that are usually simpler, one is donating stock instead of donating cash, and the other is sending donation checks directly from your IRA account instead of from your checking account.
Excellent. So considering tax efficiency, why is it better to donate appreciated stock than it is cash?
Well, the short answer to that is avoid capital gains tax. So when we're actually donating stock, literally we would be moving shares in kind from your account to the charity. And what happens then is you can avoid paying the capital gains tax. If you had held on to that and had to sell it, you would potentially be able to be subject to capital gains. If you donate it to a charity, they can take the stock, sell it on their end. They don't have to pay the capital gains tax. That's the big win there. So if you take a simple example, you have a stock worth $10,000, you purchased it for $4,000, that's your cost basis. The difference in those values, that $6,000, is unrealized capital gain. Again, if you sell that, you could be subject to capital gains tax. If you gift it, you don't have to pay the capital gains. The charity doesn't have to pay the capital gains, but they still get $10,000 worth of value on their end. So bottom line here is if you want to donate $10,000 to a charity, it's probably better to look at appreciated stock shares instead of cash.
Excellent. So it sounds like look at appreciated stock first before looking to donate cash to avoid capital gains tax. All right, so another strategy to look at is around qualified charitable distributions as a way to satisfy your required minimum distributions. I know there's a lot in there, but Jeff, what should folks look at when they're looking at qualified charitable distributions, and what are they?
Yes. So Tendai, you know we love our acronyms. So let's start with one, QCD, Qualified Charitable Distribution. Now this is when you make a donation direct from your IRA account to a charity. And this is going to apply if you are RMD age, typically age 73 plus. So in another acronym there, RMD, so Required Minimum Distribution. Generally, if you're age 73 or older, you have a traditional IRA, you are required to take a minimum amount out each year. Now, if you make a donation from your IRA account direct to a charity, then that amount actually counts towards your minimum. You didn't directly benefit, you didn't deposit it into your own checking account, you sent it straight to a charity, but it still counts in that calculation. So effectively, you're taking that donated amount, taking an immediate tax deduction right from the top of your tax return, which has a couple of big benefits. One is you don't have to itemize other deductions with it to get the benefit, and it can actually reduce your tax calculation for other considerations like Medicare surcharges.
Wow.
So the big takeaway here is, again, your RMD age, you want to make a big donation, let's look to that IRA first. You can actually satisfy your RMD and get multiple benefits rather than just writing a check.
Wow. Thank you for that information there, Jeff. So it sounds like two great strategies, tax efficient strategies when it comes to charitable giving. As we kind of land the plane here, what are some other takeaways or strategies folks should at least think about?
Sure. Well, you know, I'm a financial planning nerd, so I'm always looking for exceptions. I'm looking for cautions. There are things to watch out for. With these fairly simple strategies, we do want to watch out for the tax reporting. You got to keep the right documentation. You have to make sure your CPA is aware. We can help you with all that, but a lot of this is not automatically reported. We want to make sure that you get the credit when it does happen. These strategies that we're talking about today, donating stock, donating from an IRA, these are just two of multiples, as you alluded to. Bunching is another strategy in which you effectively look ahead a few different years and say, let's put multiple years into one tax year for a donation. Another one is you don't necessarily have to donate stock. Any asset that is appreciated can still fall under the strategy. So it could even include real estate or closely held business shares, depending on how complex your balance sheet is. The other consideration to think through is you may be able to do things through other entities like a donor advised fund. So if you donate stock, you can put that through a donor advised fund, which actually has more administrative tax benefits, and also you can control what year you're taking a deduction. So this is just a flavor of some of the starting strategies that we want to take a look at. But the takeaway again is you want to make a big donation, please pause before pulling out the checkbook. Contact us here at Salient Wealth Advisors. We want to talk through some other options that's likely going to be more tax efficient.
Excellent. Jeff, this has been great guidance for what we know is a very complex subject, but you've been able to do a good job simplifying that for our audience today. And again, if they have any follow-up questions, please reach out to Jeff or myself or anybody else here at the Salient Wealth Advisors team. We'd be happy to help you. And until next time, take care.